Well, this is our home for the night.
Yeah,
It's pretty cozy.
Not too shabby. Hey, this is Bushcraft Brent, and I'm here with my good buddy Nick. And today we've got 3 items and 3 items only. My first item, I brought my pot, and it was a big debate whether I brought this or my life straw, but then decided that I could use my pot for a lot more than just water. My second item, I brought my start my fire flint and steel. And my third item is my handy dandy trusty hatchet. Along with that, we both got rain gear because it just might rain tonight and early tomorrow morning.
And also, if you can keep yourself dry, at least that's one thing you don't have to worry about. Because, I mean, if you're dry, you can usually stay warm.
Right.
So, it's pretty important to stay dry. And if we're not taking sleeping bags or a tarp with us, we really need to have other sources to keep us dry. And, because I have medication and because this tin bottle here can be boiled, I brought some water just because I had brought my light my fire mora knife, which is fantastic and cheap to buy if you're looking for a decent knife that has a good edge on it, and also it has a fire steel that twists in and out. And since I felt like I was a little bit cheating with bringing 2 items in one, I just brought water to go along with it. Right. I wouldn't go into the woods without a hatchet or a knife. Along with our 3 items, we're bringing in, just for safety reasons, I have a little mini survival pack here made with a first aid kit, safety blanket, and a first aid book, all taped up, so if we run into any problems, we're not stranded out here with just 3 items.
This whole experience is about shelter, fire building, foraging, and see how successful we are at those. All right, let's go.
Sounds good. So cool.
So we found a beauty of a spot here.
Yeah, got a few from started.
The idea is to have a fire around here, use this for a bench, and down here, build a small shelter right in here somewhere. Nick cut down these spruce boughs. We laid them face down, and we can use that for our bed. Now this is something we would normally do when we're winter camping to keep us up off the ground.
Keep us warm.
And that's kind of what we're doing here too. Keep us up off the ground and also give us a bit of some padding tonight. And figured it was a good idea to do the bed before we did the rest of the shelter.
So we just went out to get some ferns here that Brent's laying out. Went and found them down by the brook. They're going to go over top of our boughs to make it super extra comfy. And it's going to probably be a really nice sleep tonight.
We're sticking these young maple and alder trees into the ground and bring them up and over to make kind of a debris type shelter.
Another one in the back. Probably somewhere near this log. Yeah, perfect. Just once I can pull it back a bit. I want to bring it.
We're gonna do a little fire right here. And I ran down to the brook. I filled up this container full of water, and I got my pot full of water. get started. These flies are driving me nuts. As always, build up your fire slowly. Smaller stuff to bigger stuff. And already the smoke from the birch bark is making these flies go away. Good now. When you hear that crackling, it lets you know that the wood is hot. I'm just throwing more birch on to make these flies go away. So let's show you what's going on here. Nick right now is putting spruce boughs over top of all of it. Now, a view from the inside. Alright. As you can see, we've got ferns down, and underneath the ferns are more spruce boughs. That'll be our bed. And if you look up, we have some sunlight coming through, but that's just okay.
Well, this is our home for the night. It's pretty cozy.
Shabby. Not too shabby.
It's cozy.
So we got our water boiling here quite nicely. I think they're both pretty good. Most experts agree that as long as you get it up to a rolling boil like what we have, it's perfectly fine. Although this was boiling for probably the last 2 to 5 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of hot, but it's so refreshing. On our way in here, we picked up some dandelion greens. These are edible raw, but they're better when you boil them, and they're even better still when you cover them with salt and gravy. We got clover flowers here, and you eat these raw, don't you, Nick?
Yes, you do, and they're delicious.
You know what? They're quite good. A little bitter right now, but it's still kind of springtime. And over here,
Fiddlehead.
we got tons of fiddleheads.
Which we're going to boil up.
Yep, so we're going to boil up those with that. We're gonna have us a nice little
Vegetarian snack.
vegetarian stew, maybe. So what was fresh fiddleheads are now boiled, and here's our dandelions. Wonderful.
Nothing.
What was that?
This is clover, perfectly edible. I do recommend.
They're tasty.
So I decided to get more water, and I also decided to show you guys what I have to go through to get water. So bushwhacking for about a minute. So right over here, I got 10 or so birch leaves that then we're going to put in my hot water and let it soak in. Birch leaves are a good source of vitamin C. You could actually eat the birch bark if you peel off the papery stuff and you dig into the hard stuff underneath. It's kind of gritty, so like you should probably fry it up or roast it, but you still eat it. This water has been boiling for a little bit. Still quite hot. Good. That's been soaking long enough, I think. There's a lot of tannins in it, so it's sort of woody. But then again, I'm not used to drinking tea without sugar in it, so. Other than that, it's not bad. It's about 9:45, and it's not really. It's pretty cozy in here. And by cozy, I mean small.
It's good for one person, but two people, we're gonna be sharing some body heat.
Yeah. Well, good night, folks. See you in the AM. Good morning. It's about 6:30. I barely slept a wink last night. Instead of sleeping in the shelter we made, I slept next to the fire. I woke up. I went to bed probably around 10. Fell asleep briefly, woke up at 11:30, and stayed awake in the shelter till around 1:45. At which point I decided, let's just get up and make a fire and stay around that, because I was just shivering and freezing, and so I did that, and I got probably altogether around 5 or 6 hours of sleep. So today I'm going to be having a nap later on. So that was the quickest I ever packed up my things.
This is the lightest bag I've ever had packed.
So instead of me bringing my fire steel, I think I probably would have brought my sleeping bag instead.
Yeah. I think instead of my hatchet, I would have probably brought my dad's bow saw.
Yeah.
Because you brought your axe, and you know, bow saw would have made quick work of some of the stuff that we found laying around out there.
But the big thing about this challenge is that I didn't know what Nick was going to bring, and Nick had no idea what I was going to bring until
we got here.
Yeah. So just a little added challenge to it, I suppose.
Yeah. I think overall things went pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, sleeping wasn't so bad. It was mostly when it got cold in the middle of the night.
Yeah. There's a spider right in frame. So thank you for watching our 3-item challenge weekend. If you thought it was cool, try it out yourself. I'd like to see that.
Tell us what you would have chose differently for your items.
Remember to like it, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Bushcraft Brent, out.